Hello everybody, this is Sado here and we're about to see the first game of the tournament final. We're starting with the fight map, of course, so the final game is being played between W33, also known as Fake Razor, and Mithrellas, playing on the top right at the moment, and at the bottom left we've got Grossmeister and Ritter des Todes. Let's see what happens first in the first round. I mean, sorry, in the first part of this game, which is the fighting map. You can already see this is going to be a long fight because nobody really wants to risk it too much. If Thunder is watching, I really think we should try again to make this idea happen that I had last year when I saw too many campy fights on the fighting map. The idea where the entire map would shrink as soon as the time passed, and it would be some kind of a circle getting smaller and smaller, just like on the multiplayer games like, I don't know, Fortnite or Apex. That goes work here. It's a bit tough to script it. I tried actually. I think I had something somewhat working, but it was 1 year ago and I have no freaking idea where I have this map right now, so I'll have to take a look, I guess, but I have 1 year to do it, so maybe I can find it in time for the next tournament. And speaking of the tournaments, there's going to be a new tournament, but this one it will be a fight map tournament organized by Zoltan. At the moment, there are no further details yet, but it will likely be planned to be done in 1, maybe 2 months, I don't know. But if you are a better fighter than a builder, just like I am, for example, because I'm quite well known for being a bad builder, then this might be something you may be interested in. Anyway, as you can see, there's quite a bit of camping here. There's some occasional shootout once in a while. Right now you can see that Ritter has a few more crossbows than Mithrellas, and that Mithrellas doesn't really want to dance with his horses. I don't think this is a good position for Mithrellas. Yeah, terrible X-bow handling actually. This will be important when the big fight comes. So yeah. Huh. Okay, there's a fight. Oh, sorry, I didn't notice. There's a fight on the left side. I don't know if that was a good idea to join this. Gross will definitely win this one on the left side. Mithrellas is trying to help on the left with Gross, but this means he leaves behind this part. I think that... Oh, this is a bit unfortunate. But it actually might work if it gets caught. Oh no. I don't like this. From perspective of W33 and Mithrellas, it's probably GG. Yeah. Not the best fight for them, I gotta say. Yeah, it's only a formality right now. Yep. Okay. Okay. So they start picking the maps. So the first one to be banned are Ide and Plankton. I really hope to see Plankton in this final, but I can't blame them for banning it. I think this tournament, most players found out that it's not a forgiving map, and I don't know how many games were played there, but I don't think too many. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. I see 4 games on Plankton for the time tournament. Last time it was like half of the games were played there. Mm. All right. Falling down and reprisal of Odas, which leaves us with 2 classic maps, Across the Desert and Shadow Realm. One somewhat classic, Silver Haven. I think it can already be called a classic. And 2 unusual ones, Friend of the Forest and Frozen Friendship. Mm. I've got a feeling they're not going to play on any map that starts with an F. So yeah. But let's see what happens. Let's see what Ritter and Gross will pick to be banned now. Frozen Friendship Shadow Realm, so it's halfway right. Okay, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay, I can't meet up this, so never mind. So we're not playing this, and we're not playing this, which leaves us with 3 maps: Across, Friend, and Silver Haven. Now all the choice in the hands of Mithrellas and W33. All right. So they want nothing that would be too common. Friend of the Forest it is. I'm wondering what the rules say, by the way, because I thought that the next final games will have to play Across and Silver, but I'm not quite sure. Info for the finalist. Played maps nominated, so second failure cannot be played on a map played earlier. Ah, okay. Second game, loser team. Okay, so the bans will happen again. Okay, so um, the rules for the tournament finals say that there should be 3 games played in a row, so you need 5 hours. I have a very strong opinion about this that I'm not going to say aloud out of respect for the tournament organizers, and I don't really think they're gonna play twice today though, or 3 times. But I guess we'll see. And I would not worry too much about it right now. Okay, they picked the Lux. I think I'll use this time to have a little break before we start. So to those who joined a bit later, Ritter and Gross won the fighting map stage, and the banning was already done, so we can see that they're gonna play Friend of the Forest and No Food map, which is definitely something interesting as a choice for the final of the tournament map. One thing I really like regarding regarding the choice of the maps for this tournament and for the few tournaments before in the previous years is that Thunder picked a couple of maps that are really unusual, and that all the maps have the random storehouse. That was a game changer in my opinion. I also helped with organizing a few tournaments in the past, and I believe that what Thunder is doing in a couple years is really fun, and the random storehouses, if they are balanced enough to not break a game, and usually they are, then they are really nice addition to this. Okay, I'll take a short break right now because nothing is going to happen anyway in the first couple of minutes, I guess. So I'll be back in 2 minutes, and if they start, I guess nothing bad will happen if I come back a little later. Seems like they start. Okay, I'll take the break anyway, but I'll leave you with a nice view on one of the storehouses, I guess. So let's wait a second, and they started. Okay, you've got a view, so shall be back. I'm back. Uh, I think it's a good time to take a look at what happened in the tournament so far before we see what happens in the game, because there's not too much activity yet. So, as the rules say, this final is played in a bit different way, because there are going to be 3 games instead of 1 in this round. There's some rules about elimination, but it's not that important right now. As we can see in the bracket, there was a winner bracket and a loser bracket, which means that if you lost one game when you were on this on the left side, you would still go to the loser bracket and you would have a second chance. So only after losing 2 games you are eliminated from the tournament. That's why Motherland and SoundCloud already played against each other in the semi-final of the winner bracket. SoundCloud lost the first game and they went here to the here the 5th round in the loser bracket. So Motherland so far won against Global Elite, Hunfoglalok, and then SoundCloud, and then Hello Kitty. So to uncipher the team's names, they first won against Napping and Max T, Zoltan and David, well, the other team that's playing today, obviously, and finally against Awesome Trash. While SoundCloud first they won against Team AG, Alonso and Assange, then against CryptoFans, Bitcoin Forever and Golem. They lost to Motherland, then they won against CryptoFans as well, and Global Elite as well, and Hello Kitty as well. So yeah, actually they won against 3 of the teams that were eliminated by Motherland. So you can see that the loser bracket was quite strong, even despite the one loss. Being okay. I don't know how to finish that sentence, but what I want to say is that the bottom of the bracket was definitely stronger, because Motherland and SoundCloud eliminated Global Elite, and there was one other team I missed. Okay, well, never mind. So yeah, I just want to check who the first game between these two teams was played on Across the Desert. Right. I think we can take a look at what happens in the game finally. Wait a second. Oh, sorry, should look fine now. Anyway, yeah, let's take a look at what happens in the game. As I mentioned earlier, this map is a bit unusual because there's no food in Storehouse. All you get here is, I think, 2 spots of vineyards per location. I thought there were 3. Oh yeah, actually there are 3. Where's the 3rd one for this luck? I kind of missed it. I've got 1, 2, and 3. That's here. Okay. In theory, it should pay off to be there as fast as possible in these vineyards, and you should rush them, I guess. But I've seen a game here before. I think I streamed it too, where the team that was much better actually didn't rush too much for it. Instead, they focused more on building their base, and even if they had a little hunger at start, they didn't bother too much about it, and they just made the vineyards a bit later. Right, so we're looking at Mithrellas now. You can see he's reached out to 2 of his vineyards at the moment. He could have this one for free, but somehow he decided to not do it yet. You can see that he's going to make the farms on the left side. There's not a lot of space on the right, although if you make, after you make the coal mines, you will be able to build here. I think these woodcutters on the right should be probably destroyed at some point. Or you can try to use the building drafts just like Mithrellas is doing right now. It is not foolproof, but it's probably going to help a little bit. He'll definitely have a little tough time managing the space on his luck. Although here it might be a bit easier because he just needs to make the funfin plants. I'm pretty sure I played this location recently because when I look at it, I think I did. It's pretty familiar when I look at it. Okay, looking at Ritter's base, we can see he reached 2 of his vineyards as well, actually 3. He could make this one as well. But you can see he's rushing for the woodcutter and all the other usual stuff instead. His location has the wood production at the bottom. I think there was some trees here. It might be a bit annoying that the iron is a little far away, and you've got this stone mountain in the middle of his base. So I mean, I still don't think this is a bad location. You can just make the farms and wood production at the bottom, and the farms on the right probably. And then most of the buildings you can fit at the top of the city, and it will more or less work. Although the distances are a bit hardcore, I gotta admit that. Yeah. Let's take a look at Fake Razor on W33. Yeah, his location is pretty straightforward too. Farms on the left, core of the base in the middle here. And I think he'll be fine. Already making the inn. Comparing the players, gold seems fine. Some of the players are... Oh, this is interesting. I'm pretty sure this is going to go cut only. For 5 trees, I'm not sure I would bother with it. But still... I mean, a bit weird. I don't know if I agree with this, but that's his right to do it if he wants. I don't think I like W33's wood production. He doesn't have a lot of space here, and he's making a third woodcutter there. It's a bit tricky. On the other hand, when the time goes on and he'll have more and more space in the middle here after the stone mountain was mined, it will be quite nice to have an extra woodcutter here to plant. But right now it's probably a little useless. The forest on the right side is a bit better because there's plenty of space for 2 woodcutters. He still wants to make a third one, I think. Gotta be stretching it a little bit, but I think it's fine. Yeah, his wood production is somewhat tricky right now. It's not a crisis yet, but it might as well become one soon. I think it's time to go back to Grossmeister's base. He barely has any trees left to cut. That's a bit concerning. He's going for this forest though, so that might be fine. Oh wait, that's a vineyard. Right. He really needs that woodcutter soon, I think. He'll have some... He still has some trees to cut down right here, but... Yeah, this woodcutter's pretty weird. And it would be nice for if he made a... Ah, sorry, never mind. He's got it. I really don't like the setup, this layout of the base, and the shortcuts. Wait, does he need a shortcut here? Probably. Maybe this traffic jam is actually because he doesn't have this shortcut, and because the builders making it were blocking the way. So even if a serf wanted to take a shortcut without having to use the road, they couldn't. So yeah, it looks better right now, but I think we'll have to keep this observing this space. I think it will be fine though. Right. So yeah. Mithrellas is expanding towards the top. A lot of building drafts here. Third farm being made right now. Might be slightly behind Ritter in that regard, and actually behind everyone else. Okay, the bottom team is a bit better with farms right now. The top team has some beginnings of the iron production. Mithrellas kinda same with Gross, and seems like Ritter is making 3 mines at the same time, so at the moment he's worse, but I'm pretty sure that's going to be only better. Gross is also making the 2 remaining mines. I've got a little feeling that the bottom team is slightly better at the moment. I don't think there's any issues with the distance of the resources on these locks. They're pretty similar on each lock to each other. The distance towards iron and towards gold is comparable on all the locations, I think. There's not much of a difference here. Let's try to... Oh, it doesn't work that way. Alright, Because here the storehouses are already empty. Let's take a look at the statistics. Just only 2 vineyards so far. And only one, he had only one gold smelter, but also he has one iron smithy, while Mithrellas, even if he has two gold smelters, he has no iron smelters. And obviously his iron is slightly behind. But then what really matters is making the mines early, not the smithy. So I still think that Ritter is better off with making 3 mines at the same time and then going to make the smithies. This is a better way to do it. So I'm not too worried about Ritter here, more worried about Mithrellas. Plenty of... yeah, I think Ritter also needs to be a bit more focused on the coal production right now. Although, yeah, I don't think he's making any mistakes so far. This is more or less how it should look like. It's a bit worse for Mithrellas, who also doesn't have the second gold mine here. So I'd say I'm a little worried here. Both have three sawmills and comparable amount of serfs somewhat. Ritter has a bit less, which is funny given that Mithrellas is still working with only one gold smelter. Right, let's try to compare the other 2 players. W33, 4 farms, 2 vineyards versus Gross with 5 farms. Oh, wait a sec, I wanna see this. Oh, not bad. Not a big advantage. Actually, maybe it's a big advantage. Look, Grossmeister is making his 6th farm and it's already pretty nice looking here. This 5th farm is not... It didn't plant too much, but it also planted some. I think it would be fine. And when you look at W33, it is slightly slower. So regarding the farms, growth should be a bit better than W33. That's interesting. Okay, let's take another look at the stats. Gross also has one more vineyard. Yeah, I always have a problem with this word. Comparable iron, although... Yeah, iron is the same at the moment, although Gross has one more iron mine. Yeah, that's not bad. Not much difference. Otherwise... Oh, wait, W33 also needs one more sawmill. He's about to finish it. Does he have a problem with wood? Yeah! The 3rd sawmill is late, and that means he's going to be a bit late with everything, I think. He has a lot of roads to do, so it's not going to hurt him as much as it could otherwise, but it's still a bummer that he just built that 3rd one and didn't have it a bit earlier, I guess. It's hard to tell how early was that 3rd sawmill in the Gross's base, but so far it looks like Gross is going to have a huge base and very efficient one at the same time. Oh, now that's a surprise. I thought Ritter will need that extra space and that he will have plenty of space for the woodcutters at the bottom. That is something I did not expect. Alright. I really think he's gonna need more space here. I'm not sure if this is what I would do. I'm a bit surprised by this one because so far I'm not that happy with what W33 is doing. Kind of expected more. It's a somewhat compact base, but it's not as I think it's not as good as Grossmeister's so far. So that's going to be interesting advantage for the battle team if I read this correctly. Now let's try to focus more on Mithrellas versus Ritter. I think Ritter was a little better regarding iron protection. Yeah, Mithrellas has been at the disadvantage when it comes to iron, I think. Can't really say a bad word against the layout of these bases. It's exactly as I want to see them. Especially like how sleek it looks right here in this area. Yeah, but regarding this weird woodcut on the left, looking at what happens in the base, I don't think Ritter actually will need more space than he has right now. It doesn't hurt him too much to make additional buildings like here, so he can live with this woodcutter on the left without it interfering too much with his base. I'm a little worried indeed about the food production in Mithrellas' base. Looks like Ritter has it a little better right now. Let me take a look at amount of farms for the moment. Yeah, one more farm. Wait a second. How's the food production here? Mithrellas not so good. Yeah, just as we found, but why? The farms look more or less the same, except for that last farm still not being finished, and it's not because they don't have the... Oh yeah, they're coming to finish it, alright. Hmm. A funny thing is that despite being slower with his third iron mine, somehow, in some way, Mithrellas has quite nice amount of iron weapons so far, while Ritter has a little less of them. I don't really understand how that works, because I expected... Oh, but he's gathering the ore, which is nice, I guess. So I think we can be fairly sure that... yeah, I mean, the advantage is not that big. So I think it's about a difference of 5 iron weapons. This is something easily negligible, I would say, advantage, and it will be easily surpassed, I think, with this base in a short while. He also needs the barracks, by the way. Nice timing. He's gonna have it ready just before the production in Armor Smithy stops. That's pretty nice. Okay. Yeah, it's probably a tough question. Who has better base, Mithrellas or Ritter? But I would put my money on Ritter right now. Let me see the leather production before we go further with this conclusion, though. This one. Yeah, it's comparable. Not a big difference. One skin of a difference, if I saw correctly. How many buildings do they have? 3 piggies and 3 piggies, but Mithrellas has no stables yet. He's just only making them right now. And these stables are here since quite a while, because we also already see 4 horses, so he's gonna start dropping the horses from there soon. So yeah, I think the bottom build is a bit better regarding the farms as well. So right now, if I'm not mistaken, the bottom team seems to be having a little better builds than the top. You could especially see this between Grossmeister and W33. Let's take a peek at their barracks, though. Okay, just as expected, I've been proven wrong, at least for the time being. It looks like... I mean, it looks like the iron production is a little better for W33. Let's take a look at how the farms look like. 6 versus 8. Gross has a bit better farms. Plenty of... anything else? Yeah, I mean, it should work more or less good. I guess we have to wait a little bit more until we see the status, but you can see 7 skins versus... Whoa. Actually, W33 is not far behind. I would even say he's a little better here. Does he have horses though? Not really. And that's the difference, I guess. So right now W33 decided that he doesn't need stables. He will make them right now. So Gross will have a little better horses spam. Little worse iron production though. Don't know what kind of combination W33 is aiming for, but I'm guessing he wants to have some like 10 horses and the rest will be pikes. Maybe crossbows if he really needs those. We can actually... Oh, we can't check yet. Oh, sorry. I think another look at the food production is a good idea. Starting with Mithrellas. We've got one bakery coming up soon because he's got a mill already. We've got 3 swine farms and of course 1 butcher. That seems fine. Oh, sorry. Need to resize the window. Then you've got Ritter with his... I forgot to take a look at the vineyards, but everyone is vineyards. But I think everyone will build only 3 of those because there were 3 wine farms, wine farm spots on the map in the pre-build. Interesting to see 2 fishermen huts. That means that he's taking them from 2 lakes. Can't see the other one. Ah, here. Interesting. Quite clever, of course. I wonder if other players did that too. Of course they did. Right. Anyway, looking at his stats again, he's not going for bakery. W33 with 3 fishermen, like he's making a 3rd fisherman. That's weird. Where? Ah, this one. It's actually funny. But yeah, there are some fish here? Yeah, they are. So it's not a bad idea to do this. Oh. So he looks like he wants to make a mill and bakery. At least he's got a plan for the mill. Doesn't look like his food production is adequate at the moment, though. Or maybe it is somewhat. Doesn't look too bad. And finally... Whoa, look at Gross. He's got the 4th swine farm. And also stables. That's actually quite impressive. And he keeps building the farms. He's going to have mega base. Just look at it. W33 with 8 farms versus 9 so far, and 2 more coming up from Grossmeister. I think Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see what happens here. So far, the iron production. Oh, but I think Grossmeister is a little better right now with the iron as well. I mean, he caught up. Yeah, doing some quick counting. We've got 40, 55-ish versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, Gross is slightly better with iron production actually at the moment, and his leather is already at least good enough to produce. It's hard right now to judge what happens with the leather production because there's too many buildings. I'm too lazy to count this, but I think one look. Yeah, it's hard to tell. I'll have to count everything in all the buildings. At least Gross's buildings are much faster for this. And now he's got time that he can use to expand his base even further. But you can already see that these bases will be quite big. This is going to be a pretty nice fight. You can see that the Mithrellas and Ritter are somewhat in the same spot. Regarding the weapon production, I mean, yeah, I would say they are more or less the same. Although Ritter's horses are a little better. Well, when looking at W33, yeah, Grossmeister is definitely the better one out of this pair. So, yeah, it looks like the top will have to camp. That's for sure right now. We still got 5.5 minutes. Just got to appreciate the way these bases look like. I gotta admit that W33's timings were not always right today, somehow. That's a surprise, given that he's considered to be one of the top spammers in this game at the moment. But it looks like Grossmeister is taking the crown. At least in this game. But I think also overall, we can easily say that Gross is one of the best spammers around as well. In this game, he's definitely taken the lead. And we'll see what happens in 4 minutes when we have to count the armies. You can see though that Ritter is having a pretty nice game. Gross is going for more of a late game base, I guess, while Ritter's build only 7, actually 9 farms, but a bit of an afterthought. I think it will still be a pretty nice base, and I think, but it's a little. I mean, it's hard to say because Gross is using a little different combo, but for sure. Grossmeister's ladder at the moment is a little worse, but it's still. I think it's easy to catch up for him, and that he will catch up because. Yeah, just look at the tanneries in Ritter's base and look at what Gross still have to do here. Like you can see, the buildings are so full. I'm pretty sure that in 2.5 minutes. He's going to surpass Ritter and have something like maybe 50. I mean 45, I would say, 45. Right, there's 2 minutes left, so this is the high time to make a usual comparison between the bases. So let's start with Mithrellas versus Ritter. Ritter has 27 shields and armors, almost enough swords for that, 7 horses and 44 jackets with enough weapons for them, 63 recruits. Same amount of recruits for Mithrellas, a little less horses, a lot less leather, more than 10 less. And comparable, I'd say, comparable iron, just slightly different combo, but a little more spam from Mithrellas. Although he's missing 10 swords, so that's pretty bad. Yeah, you could see that Ritter has a way better outcome. Then let's take a look at W33, and that's, I gotta say, this is a huge disappointment. Huge. Only 2 horses, 23 jackets on peacetime, and 40 iron, but the spammy kind of iron, not the quality one. And then you take a look at Grossmeister's base, and you can see that there's no comparison between those two players. I don't know what happened with W33. We could see his third sawmill was pretty late. That might have been it, but yeah, you can see the iron is... I mean, W33 also misses some swords, but apart... I mean, even if he had them, the difference in leather and horses is pretty nice, especially leather amount for gross. So it's a pretty similar situation to what Mithrellas versus Ritter looks like. So yeah, I think the biggest problem with this game is what W33 did. It's quite a shame. I hoped for a balanced and nice game. But right now with this amount of army from W33, which I would even call unworthy of the final, especially the leather amount at horses, leather and horses. Yeah, this is not good enough for this game. Yeah, so to sum up, it looks like the top has less troops and that it will be pretty tough for them to gain an advantage. They'll definitely have to defend, and they definitely have to play to pretend, play to pretend, if you know what I mean. To not show how the situation really looks like for them. Alright, so we got to wait until they come back, and that means I'll use that time to make a little break again. So stay tuned, I'll be back in a couple minutes. Alright, I'm back, and let's take a look at what happens after peacetime. We've got players scouting. I'll just make sure I'm not lagging out too much. This should be fine. But to meet the cells of the right side, so it seems like Ritter will have a little better scout here. On the left, I think they're gonna be quite even. Yeah, Ritter is going to have a massive scout soon. I can already see where the line is going to go through. The front line, I mean. Yeah, just look at these armies, come on! Okay, they're preparing for some... yeah, they're awaiting some camping, I guess. If they don't want to get their troops out immediately. How much do they see at the bottom? They don't see the entire army, which is a shame, I guess. It's weird that Gross didn't try to scout through there. It's so freaking open here. Should have done that, really. It would be GG, actually, for the top team if he did that. But now they don't see much. I'm guessing... they have to do whatever they can here. They can see entire army from Mithrellas, at least. Not sure if they know this is the entire army. There's some reinforcements still, but that's not a big part of it. Yeah, you can see that there's not that much of it. Although I gotta say, the difference between Mithrellas and Gross doesn't seem to be that huge as I thought. Oh, that's because Gross is still lacking some recruits. Well, not a lot. Just a couple. Yeah, just 10 recruits and he can attack, I think. In that time, I don't think it's going to change much for the top team. So it's probably worth the wait. There's some shootout right now here. Nothing too important though. Yeah, when you see the army from W33, you gotta admit that it's good they don't see it all. Whoa, and Gross still didn't realize there's an entrance here. That's funny. Really nothing interesting happening, although I can see now Ritter, although he doesn't fully see it, but he's almost pushed W33 behind his unfinished towers. It's a little funny what happens here, because if Ritter saw it, yeah, he could likely destroy them. But because he didn't scout enough to see this, of course it was pretty hard to do that. Just should have a little wider formation. I really don't understand why people don't pay attention to how wide the formation is. Sometimes... Whoa, that was a harsh one. Okay, so right now it looks just as we could have expected. The top is defending, and I gotta say though that somehow this army seems a little bigger than it seemed a while before. I mean, not by quality troops, but it just looks bigger, you know? I wonder if Ghost is going to attack here. This would be a nice spot to do this. Yep, I think so. They're walking in. Do they see this entire... I mean, yeah, that's one way to try and scout a bit more, right? They still don't see enough, but they're walking in. That's interesting. He's just standing with the host and he attacks. We've got the first big fight over here. Mithrellas versus Grossmeister. W33 and Ritter are slightly out of the game right now, so... But W33 is going to flank Gross here. Although Ritter's course is on the left and it's gonna... They're gonna break through easily, yeah. It will be interesting to see what happens in the middle though. Ritter doesn't engage W33 yet, which is probably the right decision, although he's getting shot at, and now he engaged. But it looks like the breakthrough on the left will be quite deadly, although the middle here... Yeah, I think this will be it. They're still trying to defend against this, and it's really tough to go through because the horses and bows are going here. Yeah, this is not that bad, but now Ritter is going through here. It's a really tough one, but it's still better for the bottom team. Yep, it's GG. Definitely GG. That was a swift one and not unexpected at all. Alright. 10 minutes only. I think Mithrellas' comment sums this up pretty nicely. What a shit. Yep, and that's it. Well, yeah, just look at the stats. Somehow Mithrellas has less equipped soldiers and least weapons produced. I'm a bit surprised. It looked like he had somewhat similar to stats to Ritter, but it doesn't look like that anymore. Something happened. I wonder what happened. Okay, not what I thought did. Weird. I thought he's gonna have a massively broken foot graph, but not really. Looks like... I mean, I can't even say what happened in Mithrellas' base because everything I saw seemed fine. Something happened with the iron. Perhaps... Did he have hunger problems? Not really, but yeah, something definitely broke down. You can see the iron... Ah, wait a second. His iron ore chart is terrible. It somewhat explains it. I mean, you can see that at the start of the game, his iron buds chart was really similar to the other ones. Slightly worse, but it was still in the range. But somewhere around the 53 minutes into the game, maybe 50 minutes actually, it broke down and did not keep up with the others. You can see there's no change here, but there's a change here. So I think as soon as everyone else caught up with the last buildings of oh yeah, and he was slightly earlier than the others with his first one. Yeah, that kind of explains things. Yeah, and then how about skin production? It was somewhat fine. Not great, not terrible, I guess. Yeah. Okay, that's weird. But yeah, the iron was slightly worse, so maybe that's partially the reason. Not a lot of horses. Probably also not having the pike combo, not trying to make too many axes. Yeah, it's... I can't really analyze this well. I think the iron played a big part in this, but maybe he didn't train some troops too. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so that was the first of 2 or 3 games being played here. Because this is best of 3, it means that there's going to be at least one more game. If Ritter and Gross win it, then they won the tournament. If they lose it, then there's gonna be a third game that decides it all. And yeah, I guess that's it. Unless I don't know about something. Yeah, okay. Just checking because maybe I misread the rules. Right. Yeah, so that's it for today. Sorry it was a bit short, but not much I can do about it. I really hope the second game will be a little better and Mithrellas and W33 can show on another map that they can beat Ritter and Gross. Or at least they will try, I guess. They're definitely evenly matched, but they didn't show that today, especially W33, which is a great shame. So that was Sado for you guys. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.